hear these familiar stories about the birth of Jesus. We could still be shopping or cooking or going to holiday parties. But here we are, once again. What keeps drawing us to this story? What are we looking for when we listen to these favorite scriptures? When we bask in the music of Christmas songs? What need do these stories satisfy? For many of us, we have come to the reassuring comfort of Christmas tradition. It feels good to be surrounded by this lovely greenery. It is comforting to stare into the lights. Lights that may remind us of a lifetime of Christmas moments, or lights that speak of the promise of a lifetime of Christmases to come. But I think the story of Jesus' birth probably speaks to us on deeper levels as well. It is often observed that our world seems to hunger for a little magic, for a little mystery. We continue to become ever more materialistic in our worldview, forgetting that there is so much more to this reality than the heart can know or the eye can perceive. More and more, we allow our sense of what is possible to be bounded and restricted by what we think economics or science will allow. The constant input from our mechanical devices, the flood of images and sound that we subject ourselves to daily, gradually they dull our imaginations. We grow in cynicism. We become afraid to hope. So we are hungry for what we call magic, for mystery, for the unexpected, for something to break into our lives and remind us of our true selves and our real home. So it's good to ponder the wonder of angels bringing good news. Good news to our cold and trembling world. It is good to imagine a heavenly light that just might penetrate our darkness and lead us to holiness or wholeness. It is a joy to gaze again at the image of that poor little baby coming into the world surrounded by cattle and sheep and shepherds. A baby, a new creation, bringing hope and expectation and joy to everyone around him. Oh, some of us may scoff at the details and debunk the literal approach to the story, but even our logical, rational minds should marvel at what we behold. One certain little baby was born to a poor Jewish family in ancient Palestine. That baby grew into a man who somehow lit this world on fire with hope and love and joy. That baby grew and became a force that has changed the course of human history and goes on changing it every second of every day. In these facts, there is endless magic and endless mystery. When Luke and Matthew wrote these stories that were not included in the very first versions of Jesus' life, they were trying to account for the fact that this single man, with no worldly power, no worldly influence, a man who came from the nowhere of a peasant's existence, had already shaken the foundations of their world. So they turned to myth and they turned to allegory to try to answer the same questions that we ask when we ponder the reality that is Jesus. In order to communicate a truth so vast, a truth so vital to our human condition, they turned to the language of myth and they surrounded Jesus' birth with the miraculous. How else to capture the good news that God was part of this man's life, a part of his story. And as we ponder the mystery anew, we are drawn to wonder not only about God, but about ourselves. Where did Jesus come from? How did he become the person he became? Was he human the same way we are human? Did God create him differently? Or was his relationship with God so close, so intimate, so complete that he became a channel for power and truth and light in ways that seem foreign to us, unreachable to us? But are they unreachable? Jesus lived his life in God. Who are we in God? Most of us still live in the midst of these questions. As we figuratively kneel in that manger with the shepherds and the sheep, we are kneeling before the good news that God is with us. That God's Spirit has penetrated the animal kingdom and lifted us toward a different destiny. We have been blessed with a mind capable of self-reflection. We are born with a soul that is capable of moral choices, with hearts capable of becoming channels of the very same love that birthed this entire creation. That is God's Spirit with us and God's Spirit in us. In our Christmas story, we tell again the truth that Jesus was born of God. And we reach out toward the mysterious, wonderful truth that ultimately each one of us is also born of God. And we hunger to be born as fully as Jesus was born. To know God that well. To trust God that much. We know that there are new beginnings possible in our souls. We know that we have not fully awakened to our true selves, to our fullest destinies. We hope and we pray that God will continue to lead us to become fully human. And that when we are, God's light will shine through us as brightly as any guiding star.